Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Monroe's math class again. We're going to talk about here the distributive property, and we're going to go both forwards and backwards. We're going to shrink it up and then expand it, and actually then going to solve it as well. So this is a two-sided sheet. I hope you guys enjoy your snow day tomorrow. If you're looking at this tonight, today is February 8th. So if you are watching this on February 9th, then hopefully if we did stay home, you get this done for Friday, okay? Because we need this for our next lesson. So the directions are this. We want to find the greatest common factor from the two numbers and rewrite the sum using the distributive property. So we want to rewrite it back together here. Okay, so by doing that, we actually want to find or think about finding the greatest common factor. What do these two numbers share together? We can factor outside of the parentheses. And this one here is done for us. It is 6. And one way that we can do this is to find the prime factorization of these numbers. So think back to our factor trees and what we did here. Okay, so we had 12, 2 times 6, which is then also going to be 2 times 3. The 18 shares a 2 and a 9, and then a 3 times 3. So with these values here, all right, we're able to take this and find what they have in common. They each have a 2, right here and here. They each have a 3. And so multiplying those together, 2 times 3 equals 6. Greatest common factor. And we're going to divide each of these two numbers by 6. So 12 divided by 6 will equal 2. 18 divided by 6 will equal 3. And there's nothing we can factor out of these numbers here. So 6 is our GCF. Excuse me. And we will place this here, leaving these numbers as well. So we will have 2 plus 3. So really what we're going to do is multiply this out to get the 6 times the 2 and the 6 times the 3. You'll see that later on. So if we checked here, 12 plus 18 should give us an answer of 30, and we're going to get to there later on. Okay, it's also okay to use calculators on the other side especially, and we'll get to that later. Okay, so you can find these here. I'll do one more with you so you can do the rest. Notice how they are marked here. Okay, use this same guideline as you get further down the page down here. Notice we took some of the stuff out so you can go back and solve those on your own. So let's do one more of these together. So you get blanks, got to fill in here our greatest common factor between 42 and 14. So let's find the prime factorization. What number can we take out of both of these numbers? Well, we know that 7 goes into 42 6 times, and 7 also goes into 14 twice. But let's simplify these even more. These are both prime numbers, so we're good with that for 14. However, for 42, we're not. 7 and a 6. So for the 6, we have 2 times 3. And with 2 times 3, those are both prime numbers as well. What do they share in common? Well, they both share a 7, and they both share a 2. So what is 2 times 7? Well, that equals 14. So that's going to be our greatest common factor. Let's check. 42 divided by 14, it actually goes in 3 times. Okay? And then 14 divided by 14, well, if you divide it by itself, it's going to be just one of those groups. Now, notice where I put these values here. The 3 with the 42, since it's 42 plus 14, that 3 is going to be first in order there. Now with the commutative property, is that always true? We want to stick with this pattern here, okay? And then the 1's going to go there. What did we factor out? We factored out a 14. So if you added up 42 and 14, you're going to get a total of 56, okay? And we're going to see on the other side what we do here to distribute in. All right, so you can definitely do the rest of this side. I will give you one clue, however, okay? For this one here, your GCF will be 8. So I want you to get to that point there. All right, these two, come on. You should know what that one is. All right, this one's just going to be so easy. All right, halftime's over. All right, so here we go. We're going to take the directions and apply the distributive property to write equivalent expressions in expanded form. So think about what we do for expanded form. We grow it out, move it out. Okay, notice what we have here, the 8, the greatest common factor. We're also then going to evaluate, and evaluate simply means we're going to solve it. Okay, we're going to get a solution. All right, so 8 and the 5, and what we may think about is when we want to distribute this 8, it's going to go to both of those terms. And notice in here we have an addition. Okay, there's an addition sign here. We also bring that later on here. 8 times, well, what's the first number? The first number is a 5. The second number, 8 times what? 8 times 12. We have an 8 times 12. We get there. Okay, and with that 8 times 12 and 8 times 5, we can simplify by the order of operations. Of course, you do parentheses first, Anything with exponents, we don't see any here. And then we either multiply or divide. So we want to clear that level, whatever you see, from left to right. So we flitter, like good old Woodstock from the Peanuts. And we add or subtract next. So 4 levels to clear, to get rid of them to solve the operations here. Let's start. 8 times 5, 40. Very good. Plus 8 times 12, 96. And it's okay to use a calculator here. So 40 and 96 together is going to result in 136. 136. Very good. Next, let's do one more together. Notice the setup is the same. Use the same setup here. Again, we took it away down here so you can apply that later on. Okay, let's do one more. Last one here. 15 is that first number out in front. It is shared with both of these terms inside the parentheses. Okay, so we distribute this in, kind of like a basketball player, especially the point guard. You distribute and pass the ball out. Okay, 15, we're going to multiply with the 9. Okay, and then we're going to add, right here, the 15 multiplied by the 12. Okay, so again, use the calculator and check those out. Calculator here. All right, so we got 15 times 9. 135. Plus 15 times 12. 180. Add them together. Well, I already have the 180 here, so I'm just going to hit plus 135. Solve it. 315. Okay, so again, make sure you use the same setup here. Okay, so as we get down to, say, letter D, we want to use the 9 times a number plus the 9 again times a number. And I'll give you the solution to one of them. The solution to... No, you know what? We'll let you figure that out. Okay, have a great day off.